So I ran some theme teams during Kanto Cup because I think Kanto Cup is a time when we can especially just have fun, especially since there's no ELO. And before we get into this, I'm going to say I do not endorse any of these teams. I got a lot of losses. I just did this for fun. I just ran a team until I got a win with it, and then I switched teams and ran something else. But I wanted to share the wins with you guys because I figured we could have some fun with this. All right, let's go. So the first theme team that I wanted to show off was this ground type team, mostly because I had just powered up this Shadow Sandslash and I really wanted to show it off. So let's get into this. So the Nidoqueen lead is because it's probably the most reliable Pokemon on the team, and it has the poison coverage, uh, as opposed to just Rock and Ground. And here I got really lucky, facing off against a Wigglytuff. This Poison Jab is just gonna chonk away at this thing. I was a little worried about having to shield an Ice Beam, but we risk it for the biscuit in these parts. But then they come in with another Fairy Pokemon, and I'm thinking I have 100 energy, I can probably get to another Stone Edge, so I'm either taking this thing out, or I'm getting both shields. So, Nidoqueen turned out to be really good here. And they decided to shield both, which is fine for me. I'm going to swap out right away because I don't want them to farm me down, because I can get to an Ancient Power. If I shield this, I could probably get to an Ancient Power before they get to another Weather Ball, because Charm is just abysmal with energy. So I'm going to the Ancient Power. I think they tried to catch it on this Clefable, and it turns out they're also running a theme team, all fairy team. So I was just barely able to get to the Earthquake in time. I was either going to win this or lose this. We were all in. But we got to the Earthquake, which is good. The Clefable needed to go down because it's too tanky. But then Sandslash has Mud Shot, so it gains energy super fast. I probably could have gotten to this, definitely could have gotten to this Rock Tomb, but I was going to flex and go for the Earthquake, but they knew it was a good game, so good game to my opponent there. So another team that I really wanted to run was this Bug Catcher team, and I remember that you were only supposed to be able to catch like Caterpie and Beedrill and Caterpie and Weedle in red or blue. But I remember if you walked around enough, you could catch both. Just one was a lot more rare, and I've always found like these three Pokemon to be like the quintessential bug types of red and blue. So I really wanted to run this team as well. So I started with Venomoth because I wanted the two Confusion users to be kind of separated, and it's kind of lucky that I didn't choose Butterfree to lead, because Electrode would have ruined Butterfree. So I think I shield this one just because I need to be able to pressure this guy. So I want to now throw both of these Poison Fangs, probably either get a shield or Wind Switch, because or both, just because Poison Fang is so spammy. Because the bug team is very weak to a lot of things, and I was kind of nervous running this team. It was possible that I could go through this and not get a win. So I decided to let this go, hoping that I could win and get Switch. And I do win, and that Confusion went through, so after the charge move, this thing dropped. And it turns out to be very, very, very lucky, because now I get to align my Beedrill with their Marowak. Marowak is extremely dangerous. At this point I'm thinking, this is probably going to be a loss, because it's a Fire-type Pokemon. It's a Fire Ghost Pokemon. Like, against bugs, I literally should lose. So I go against my instincts and I bait, even though I never like baiting, especially on a move that's not going to do damage if they don't shield, like X-Scissor on a ghost type. But I bait, and it seems to work. And I'm hoping if I shield this Bone Club, I can get to this Drill Run, which still is not gonna KO this Pokemon. But I need Marowak to go down. The goat is too powerful for this team. So I get to the drill run. I know it's not going to KO, but Butterfree can confusion. If Butterfree can confusion down before he gets to like a Shadow Bone, I should be okay, depending on what their last Pokemon is. So they throw their charge move. It turns out to be a Bone Club, which is great because Butterfree literally takes no damage from ground type moves. And then their last Pokemon is a Fighter. So here I was a little bit worried about Ice Punch, but I was luckily able to get to the Psychic, and Mud Shot does nothing. So this is pretty much good game at this point. Butterfree is pretty attack weighted, and that is gonna finish it off, and that's good game to my opponent. So anyone who's familiar with my battles is not going to be surprised that I wanted to somehow include a Fight Club team in this set. So here it goes, dedicated to that one place where you have to choose between Hitmonchan and Hitmonlee in Pokemon Red and Blue. So here we go. So I led with Hitmonchan partly because of his bulk, but also because of its coverage moves, which didn't really seem to matter because they led with Muck that takes neutral from every charge move that I have across the team. And Cross Chop might have been better because it also has Stab. So I'm just trying to get chip damage. I'm debating whether or not to shield this potential Sludge Wave. I'm thinking if they take me out, I could probably counter down and be ahead on energy. And their fast move is Snarl, which isn't going to do anything. So Machamp comes in, gets 2 counters in, so I'm a little ahead on energy, even shields, even Pokemon. Electrode comes in, and I think I went a little overboard on the over-farming, but my plan was to just throw a bunch of cross chops, have a bunch of energy left over, and either get Switch, get shields, get Switch and have extra cross chops to just throw out whatever comes in, or take all their shields. And you're gonna see that this next cross chop that I throw it because I wasn't paying attention to how many Volt Switches they threw, and I was afraid they would throw a charge move right before I could counter down, and it turns out to be true. So I let this go through. Primeape's got a shield, and so I'm up a shield. They don't have any, and it turns out that their last Pokemon is weak to fighting. So this is a Legacy Primeape with Cross Chop, and we're going to take this out. So good game to my opponent. So for this team, I kind of had to improvise a little with Marowak because there was only one line of Ghost Pokemon in Red and Blue, but here's that battle. So I lead with Gengar, and in hindsight I probably should have led with Haunter because Focus Blast was probably not going to hit anything when they had full shields. So this is a pretty neutral matchup. I'm using Shadow Claw, which is slightly better on damage. He's using Hex, which is slightly better on energy gain. So we're kind of even. And I think I shield this. Bone Club would do super effective damage, but it's a Shadow Bone, so that's even better. And I think my only plan is to like hope they don't have a Dark Pokemon in the back and just take away their shields. Ooh, but I remember this. That was actually pretty bad. I saw this normal type Pokemon and I was thinking I just lost. I definitely lost. At least Marowak takes... Marowak has a chance here if they don't shield. So I just have to hope that they don't shield. And then I might be able to win. So they don't. And that's good for me. I can't use my last shield though because Haunter is so fragile that it needs a shield regardless of, even if in positive matchups, I think it needs a shield. So my hope here is that we take each other out, which we do, and then Haunter just has to successfully shield a Rock Slide and not get hit, They only have one shield. I have two Shadow Punches, so Shadow Claw and the Shadow Punch that goes through should take them out. And I can shield whatever move is coming in, whether it's a bait or not, and I should be fine. So, given the amount of water Pokemon that I saw in Kanto Cup, an all-electric team seemed like it needed to be done. And so here we go with a tribute to Lieutenant Surge. So I led with Raichu because I thought I could put a lot of pressure with Wild Charge, and they swapped out of the Lapras, which was a really good lead for me. Unfortunately, their Lapras isn't really escaping the electric Pokemon. I stayed in with Raichu here because I was already close to... I was already had energy, and I want to use both of these Wild Charges to pressure shields. So this Charm went through, and I thought that that was going to feint my Raichu, and I was going to lose my second Wild Charge. But they don't shield here, so the Charm didn't register, and I get to throw both Wild Charges anyway, so lucky me. They're probably going to shield this, and you can consider this probably borderline bullying, cyberbullying this Lapras, because it thinks that it avoided the electric-type Pokemon, but I have a full team of electric-type Pokemon. However, I'm happy that the Electrode is against the Lapras and not the Graveler, because the Graveler would take super effective damage from these Surfs. So I'm hoping that I can get to like a foul play, but I didn't check. I misclicked. I should have done foul play, but I don't think it really matters because they had a shield, and they're going to be able to fire spin me down, which is kind of bad because they're ahead on energy now. So the good thing is I take resisted damage from the fire spins, but the Bone Club is going to do like double super effective damage, which is kind of dangerous because it doesn't take a lot of energy to throw a Bone Club. And Rock Blast is not a super strong move, so I don't expect this to take it out, and I'm hoping that between the Volt Switches from Graveler and Olo and Raichu, I can finish this off before fainting. And you're going to see how much Bone Club, which isn't even a very powerful move, does to this Graveler. And I could have thrown the Rock Blast there, but I risked it, and good game to my opponent. So this next team is actually a team I've been wanting to run for a very long time in Ultra League. I just don't have an XL Blastoise ready yet. But here is the original starters with Wing Attack Charizard because there were too many water Pokemon for me to want to run Fire Spin, and I felt like Dragon Breath was going to get walled by the amount of Wigglytuffs that I saw. So let's get into this one. So I start with Venusaur because Venusaur is the most consistent of the three, with decent bulk and damage. Unfortunately, me and my opponent, I think, both lag right here. They seem to be lagging more, and I figured I'd just keep farming and give them a free shot because of the lag, just out of courtesy. So they hit me. They decide to throw the Body Slam, and then I go to throw my Frenzy Plant, but they swap into an Alolan Marowak. And I feel a little bad that I wasted this Frenzy Plant, but it still does a decent amount of resisted damage. But they just gave up swap. So here's the Blastoise. And I get to just farm. I plan on just farming down. I might have to shield one of these Bone Clubs, but I definitely am just going to be farming down and saving up these Hydro Cannons. One mistake that I do make though is if they threw if they threw this guy out here to draw out the fire counter, they probably had a grass or another water in the back, and so I probably should not have thrown this Hydro Cannon right away, because if it was a grass Pokemon, and you're going to see it's Lapras, it does like nothing. I should have just thrown the headbutt. So we're going to go for that now. The Skull Bash, not the headbutt. So I'm going to see if I can... I'm pretty sure I survive a Surf, because Blastoise's defense is pretty stellar. And I'm going to throw this just to get some damage up. I still have a Frenzy planned. This is probably my favorite three-way deadlock, is the Grass, Fire, Water three-way deadlock. I run this kind of team in Ultra League, and it does very well. I use Gyarados though, as opposed to Blastoise. I felt that the Lapras was low enough that I could just farm down. And at this point in the game, I'm actually pretty nervous because they have 2 shields, and I have none. And Charizard's pretty glassy. Body slams are gonna hurt. Lick hurts. But there goes one shield with the Blast Burn. Here comes the other one with the Frenzy Plant. And I think at this point they think that they're just not going to be able to win, because they're just not going to get to enough charge moves to take out both Venusaur and Charizard, and that's game. So another team that I thought might be kind of interesting is an entirely normal team, because the amount of like Alolan Marowaks I saw, I thought that would be kind of interesting. So here's that. So I led with Snorlax because I felt it was the least vulnerable, because it got to charge moves faster, but they led with Alolan Muck, who isn't going to take any damage from Lick, and I didn't want to switch into my Wigglytuff right away, just in case they had like a Machamp in the back. I wanted to kind of find it. So I take out Kangaskhan, and I'm just going to go for Power Up Punches and do as much damage as I can with Mud Slap. At this point, I'm pretty sure that I'm gonna lose. I don't think the Mud Slaps are gonna power up punch enough to take out the Wigglytuff. But I got it pretty low, and I'm thinking I can come in with a Snorlax and I can lick it down and have a ton of energy. I also decide to not shield this, because Snorlax is thick, and if whatever they have in the back is weak to Wigglytuff, Wigglytuff with 2 shields can, I think, beat Alolan Muck, and a lot of things are pretty vulnerable to Charm. So I swap here hoping to catch a Dark Pulse on Wigglytuff, and that gets me ahead on energy on Snorlax, a lot, ahead by a lot. And then they bring in a Mew, and Shadow Claw is not really doing anything is not going to do anything to my entire team. So I can farm down, and I let this go, thinking I'll save everything for Snorlax. But I think I'm just out of charge move, and I want to get a shield from them. So I need to commit a shield to do that. And now I can start getting shields from Alolan Muck, or I hope I get a shield, because Lick is not gonna threaten this thing. But if I take a shield, then I can start threatening with Body Slams. And Charm gets it pretty low, and I think I have almost 2 Body Slams. So if I can successfully get to 2 Body Slams, I might win this thing. And there we go. I think they were trying to get to two Dark Pulses, and I got to the second Body Slam before they did. And that's going to be a good game. Good game to my opponent. I feel like any Kanto theme team composition would not be entirely complete without a Team Rocket team. And I unfortunately do not have an Arbok or a Persian that are ready. So we're going to go with a shadow team instead. So enjoy the end of the video, and if you enjoyed this video, please like, subscribe, comment, tell me what you think I could have done better, and we'll take it from there. Enjoy.
Infinite power. Infinite power. Infinite power.